basic knowledge is required for developing efficient algorithms. Next, I have connected this course outcome to the PO2. Your PO2 is problem analysis. As the given problem must be analyzed to design the solution of a given problem. You need to analyze the algorithm. Okay. So I have connected to this problem analysis. Next, I have connected this CO to the PO3. Your PO3 is a design or development of the solution. As a solution have to be developed for a given problem on searching and sorting. Okay, you need to develop the solutions for a given problem on searching and sorting by using some techniques. So I have mapped this CO to this PO3. Your PO1 is engineering knowledge, as you required basic knowledge to solve the problems, basic fundamental knowledge. Next, I have mapped to PO2. Your PO2 is problem analysis, as you need to analyze the algorithms such as what is the time complexity, what is the space complexity, which algorithm efficient. You need to analyze to design the solutions to the given problem. That's why I have mapped to PO2, problem analysis. Next, you need to design the solutions for the given problem, okay, by using some techniques. So I have mapped to PO3. Your PO4 is conduct investigation of complex problems. Here I have moderately mapped to PO4, as the problems on searching and sorting are analyzed and interpret the data by using appropriate methods or techniques to solve the problem. So I have mapped your PO first CO1 to this PO4 moderately. Okay, these are the POs I have mapped: PO1, PO2, PO3 and PO4. Now let us see what is data structure. Why you need the data structure? We all are living in the information age, right? Everything is about information. So how this information is stored in computer's memory? So these data structures are required to store using these data structures. You will store the data in some particular format. Okay, these data structures are used to store the data in some particular format. See the definition of data structure. The way of organizing the data in computer's memory is called data structure. The way of organizing means arranging the data in computer's memory in some particular format. You have to use some particular format. All the data must be stored in memory, right? So that you can easily access the data. You can easily search the data. So data must be stored in particular format so that you can easily access the data. You can easily perform the operations on the data. These data structures are used to store the data in some particular format. Once again, see the definition. The way of organizing the data in computer's memory, the way of arranging the data in computer's memory is nothing but data structure. In simple words, the way data stored in computer, it is called data structure. Or otherwise, to store the data, you need data structures, okay, in some particular format. Now, why you need the data structures? Why do we need data structures? To allow the data retrieval. If you want to retrieve the data, or if you want to access the data efficiently, the data must be stored in some particular format in the computer's memory. Okay. Next, allows efficient data search. If you want to search the data must be stored in computer's memory in a particular format. So how it is possible? By using these data structures. These data structures will help you to retrieve the data efficiently and also to search the data efficiently. Next, it allows you to manage the data. in large databases where data is large amount of data is stored, here if data structures are used like B trees, B plus trees, all these data structures are used, which allows to manage the data. Okay, this is a need of data structures. Why you need data structures? To efficiently access the data, or to efficiently retrieve the data, or and to efficiently search the data, and to manage the data you need data structures. Again I am repeating, what is data structure? Using the data structure, you will store the data in computer memory in some particular format. Okay, or the way of organizing the data, organizing means arranging the data in computer's memory, is called data structures. Next, I will connect this to real world example. Take a dictionary. You need to search a keyword like cool, COOL. How will you search? You will go to the page where it can, you will go to the page called C. Okay, there you will search for CO. In that again you will search for COOL. In this way you will search. Okay, first you will go to directly, you will go to the C page, and then you will search for CO, and then you will search for COO. Like in that way you will search, right? So how efficiently you are searching this? Because here in dictionary it follows some alphabetical order, A to Z. Okay, it follows some particular format. Which format? A to Z. So these are arranged in a particular format, alphabetical order, A to Z. You can easily find the words, keywords. In the same way, if data is stored in computer's memory in a particular format, then you can efficiently search the data, or you can efficiently retrieve the data, or you can efficiently manage the data. It should be stored in some particular format. If data is not in this dictionary, if data is not arranged in alphabetical order, it will take lot of time for you to search, right? Okay, it will take lot of time to search if it is not there in alphabetical order. In the same way, if the data stored in computer's memory is not following some order in particular format, it will be very difficult to you to retrieve the data, or to search the data, or to manage the data. This is the use of data structures. This is a simple example, real world example. Just I connected it to the dictionary. Okay, I hope you understood what is data structure. Now I will activate the live polls. Students, please listen carefully. I will activate the live poll which contains multiple choice question. Everyone need to answer the question so that I will see your responses, so that I will understand you are listening the class or not. I am activating the live polls. Everyone need to submit the answer. Okay. Students, see the screen. Open Google Chrome. Type, excuse me. Open Google Chrome and type pollev.com. POLL. Everyone, all the students, I request all the students to submit the answer. POLLEV. Type in Google Chrome in address bar pollev.com/Lavanya SUSAN 569. See the screen. In Google Chrome address bar, type this one. You will get this question. Okay. Now select the answer. I will see the responses so that I will be able to understand whether you are listening my class or not. Within 1 minute, you need to submit. Just click the answer. That's all. Only once you have to do. Open Google Chrome. In address bar, type tolleb.com/Lavanya SUSAN 569. Who is that?
Ma'am, sorry.
Okay, 100%. Okay. Everyone submitted the answer? Please respond. Students? Okay, see the answer. What is data structure? It is not a data type. It is not a data. Organizing the data in computer's memory. Okay, thank you. Everyone have to submit. Okay. Listen to the class. Stop submitting. I hope you understood what is data structure. Why you need data structures, right? Once again, see the definition. The way of organizing the data in computer's memory is called a data structure. It is used to store the data in some particular format. Next. Classification of data structure. There are two types of data structures, linear data structure and non-linear data structure. Listen carefully. Again, I will activate the live poll. You can submit the answer after this explanation. Listen carefully. There are two types of data structures. First one is a linear data structure. Second one is non-linear data structure. Linear data structures means the way of organizing the data in some sequential order. The elements will be arranged in some sequential order. That means elements will occupy continuous memory locations. Okay, it is called linear data structure. Again, I am repeating. Linear data structure means arranging the elements in sequential order. That means elements or data will occupy continuous memory locations in some sequential order. It is called linear data structure. Coming to non-linear data structure, here the data is arranged randomly. Okay, it will not occupy in sequential order. Data will not occupy sequential. Data is not arranged in sequential order. Okay, data will be in random locations. It is called non-linear data structure. Now let us see examples of linear data structure. Examples are arrays, stacks, queues, linked list. Again, see examples of linear data structure: array, stack, queue, and linked list. These are considered as linear data structure where the data are arranged in sequential order. It will occupy some continuous memory locations. Okay. Coming to nonlinear data structure, examples of nonlinear data structure are graphs and trees. Again, I am repeating. Examples of non-linear data structure are graphs and trees. where the data is organized or where the data is arranged in random order. Okay, data is not arranged in sequential order, data is arranged in some random order. Examples of nonlinear data structures are graphs and trees. Once again, see the examples. Examples of linear data structure are array, stack, queue, and linked list. Examples of nonlinear data structure are graphs and trees. Now let us see diagrammatic representation of these data structures. Array data structure. See the diagrammatic representation of array data structure. Here, linear one-dimensional array is used. Linear array means one-dimensional array. See here, see the representation, just diagrammatic representation. Here, the elements are in sequential order, right? See here, see the diagram. The elements are in some sequential order. They are not in some random locations. Here, it will occupy continuous memory locations, data. Here, continuous memory locations, data will be occupied in continuous memory locations. Okay, and here, see, this is an array. Index starts from 0. Next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, index starts from 0, 1, 2, so on. Remember this. This is an array. Diagrammatic representation of array is in this way, where elements are arranged in some sequential order and it will occupy continuous memory locations. And index starts from 0, 1, 2, so on. Okay, this is the diagrammatic representation of array. Here, linear array is used. One-dimensional array is used. Next, stack. See here, this is the diagrammatic representation of stack. Here there will be one end called top end. Using this top end only, you will insert and delete the elements. About this stack data structure, you will learn in third unit. At that time, you can understand. Now, just see diagrammatic representation of this stack. Elements are arranged in sequential order. This is a stack is a linear data structure. Using this top end only, you will insert and delete the elements. In depth, you will learn in third unit. Okay. Once again, see the diagrammatic representation of stack. It is an example for linear data structure. Array is also an example for linear data structure. Why you are saying it is a linear data structure? Because elements are arranged in linear fashion, sequential order. Next, queue data structure. The diagrammatic representation of queue is in this format. About queues in depth, you will learn in third unit. At that time, you can understand what is this front, what is this rear. Okay, these are two ends. See here, data is arranged in some sequential order. Here, it is occupying continuous memory locations. Okay. This queue is an example for linear data structure. Please listen carefully. You need to submit the answer. Later, I will activate the polls. Next. Linked list. Linked list is a linear data structure which is a collection of nodes. Okay. See here. This is called a node. This is called node. And second, this is called node. All these are called nodes. Okay. Data and next. This is called a node. And each node contains two fields. Data field, next field. About linked list in depth, you will learn in second unit. At that time, you can understand what is this. For now, just see the diagrammatic representation of linked list. It will follow some sequential order. It is an example for linear data structure. Okay. This is a node. It is called node, collection of nodes. About this, you will learn in second unit. At that time, you can understand. Once again, see the diagrammatic representation of linked list. It is an example for linear data structure. Next, coming to non-linear data structure. What is non-linear data structure? Can anyone answer my question? 38? Sirisha? On your video? Sirisha? 38. You need to respond, everyone. 38, Sirisha? '21, Mukesh? Are you listening my class? '35, Haripriya? You are not at all responding. Please respond. Okay. See here, nonlinear data structure. Nonlinear data structure means the data is arranged in random order. Okay, not in a sequential order, some random order. See here examples of graph and trees. This is called as a graph, left side one. See the left side one, it is called as a graph where these data are called vertices. In graph, this data A, B, C, D, these are called vertices, and these vertices are connected using some edges. Okay, these links are called edges. About trees, you will study in 4th unit. About graph. Okay, sorry, about graph you will study in, you will learn in last unit, 5th unit. Here in graph data is arranged in some random order. Okay, see the example here. These data A, B, C, D are called vertices in graph, and these vertices are connected using some links. These are called edges. Okay, now see the tree. Next example. This is not a graph. Why you are saying both are same, right? But here you are saying it is a tree, and here in left side you are saying it is a graph. How you are saying? See here. In trees, there will be no cycles. Cycles means, see, there will be no cycle. Cycles means, see here, excuse me, 1 second. Here there is a path from C to D, right? It is starting from C, next E, again E to D, again D to C. Here there is a cycle. In graph, cycles are accepted, but in trees, cycles are not accepted. Okay, see the left diagram. In graph, there is a cycle, right? C to E, E to D, and D to C. This is called a cycle. In trees, these cycles are not allowed. Okay, if there is no cycles, then this graph can be called as a tree. This is a non-linear data structure. About these trees and graphs, you will learn in 4th unit and 5th unit. At that time, you can understand. For now, just see the diagrammatic representations. Just to see the diagrammatic representations. Okay, left side one is called graph. In graph, there will be cycles. In right side one is called tree. In tree, there will be no cycles. Okay. This is the examples of linear and non-linear data structure. Once again, see the picture. See this diagram. Once again, see this diagram. Two types of data structures are there: linear data structure, non-linear data structure. Examples of linear data structure are array, stack, queues, linked list. Again, I am repeating. Examples of linear data structure are array, stack, queues, linked list. And examples of non-linear data structure are graphs and trees. Linear data structure means data are arranged in some sequential order. Non-linear data structure means data are arranged in some random order, not in a sequential order, okay, in some random order. Now, I will activate the polls. Students, please submit the answer. I request everyone to submit the answer. I will activate now. 1 second. Please wait for 1 second. Okay. Open Google Chrome. Open the Google Chrome and type in address bar, type polev.com/Lavanya, next SUSAN 569. Just type this one in Google Chrome address bar, pollev.com/Lavanya SUSAN 569 and give your response. Okay. Just click the answer. Which of the following is a linear data structure? Which of the following is a linear data structure? I want everyone to submit the answer. Just click the answer. That's all. Just only one time. All the students, please submit your answer. I'm giving 1 minute. I need every student to respond. I'm seeing responses also. Which of the following is a linear data structure? Graph, stack, tree, binary tree. In this, what is a linear data structure? I request all the students to respond. You need to click the answer. What is the answer? Just click once. Okay, time up. Stop responding. Okay, 90% are given stack. Yes, stack is an answer. 4% has given C. No, tree is not a linear data structure. Already have explained you. And 4% of students are given binary tree. Binary tree is not an answer. And 4% of students are given as tree. Tree is not an answer. Already I have explained. Very good. 96% of you have given answer as B. Very good. Yes, B is an answer. Which of the following is a linear data structure? Already I have explained. Linear data structure means arranging the data in some sequential order. Here, examples of linear data structures are array, stack, queues, linked list. Okay. Okay, very good. Next, 1 second. Stop responding. Next question. Next question. Open Google Chrome and type this one, polev.com, Lavanya Susan 569, and start responding. Which of the following is a non-linear data structure? Non-linear data structure. I am giving 1 minute of time. In previous question, most of you have answered correctly. Very good. You are listening to the class. Very good. Answer to this question also. I need every student to respond. Click only once. Everyone should respond. Only 1 minute of time. I will give 1 minute of time. Okay, stop responding. Your answer is, first I will see the responses. 8% of students have answered as Q. 92% of students have answered as tree. Yes, very good. Example of non-linear data structure. See, stack is not a non-linear data structure. Stack is a linear data structure. Array is also a linear data structure. And Q is also a linear data structure. 8%, 7% have answered as Q. Q is not a non-linear data structure. The examples of non-linear data structure are tree and graph. Just now I have explained. 7% answered as Q. Q is wrong. Tree is an answer. Tree is answer. 93% have answered correctly. Very good. You are listening to the class. Thank you. Okay, next topic. Okay, stop responding. Stop responding to the question. Very good. You have answered well. Now, next topic. See, once again, see, most of you have answered as Q as an answer. No, Q is not an answer. Non-linear data structure. See here. Again, see, once again, see the examples. This is the basic knowledge you need to get. Once again, see, non-linear data structure examples are graph and trees. Linear data structure examples are array, stack, queue, and linked list. Okay. Listen carefully. Next. The basic data structure operations. The operations that can be performed on data structure. What are the operations that you can perform on data structures? Let us see that. First one is traversing. First operation that you can perform on data structures is traversing. Traversing means accessing each and every element in the data structure. It is called traversing. Now let us see. Array. I will take an array. Already in C language you have studied about arrays, right, in your previous semester. See here, this is an array, right? Wait a second. This is an array. Now I need to traverse the array. What is meant by traverse? Just now I have said traversing means accessing each and every element from the array or retrieving the data from the array is called traversing. Now let us see how to access elements from this array. Already you have studied in your previous semester in C language. Let us see it. See, the array name is, assume that the array name is A, okay? This array name is A. You know that index starts from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, so on, okay? Remember that. Index starts from 0. Now, I want to access element 2. How to access? Let us see. What is the, here, array name is A. First, to access the element, first you need to give array name. What is the array name here? A. Just A. Next, you need to give subscript operator. Subscript operator means open square bracket and close square bracket together called subscript operator. Again, I am repeating. If you want to access the data, first you need to give array name. What is the array name here? A. Next, you need to give subscript operator. Subscript operator means open square bracket, closed square bracket, together called subscript operator. Next, inside this subscript operator, see, I want to access element 2, right? See, first index of this element. What is the index of this element? 0. So, inside this subscript operator, place 0. A subscript operator, inside subscript operator 0. A of 0 means you are accessing element 2. Okay. A of 0 means you are accessing element 2. Now, I want to access element 8. I want to access element 8. Okay, how to access it? What is the array name? First, you need to provide array name. Listen carefully. These are all basics. Then only you can understand the algorithm. Okay. Please listen carefully. Array name. What is the array name? A. Next, subscript operator. Subscript operator means open square bracket. Next, closed square bracket together called subscript operator. You need to provide array name followed by subscript operator. Inside subscript operator, you need to place index. What is the index of this element 8? See here. See the screen. What is the index of element 8? 3, right? So you need to place 3 inside subscript operator. A of 3. Okay. A of 3 means you are accessing element 8. Okay. In this way, you are going to access array elements. Traversing means accessing each and every element from the array is called traversing. From array or any data structure. Not only in array, any data structure, it is called traversing. This is one of the operation that can be performed on data structures. Next operation, searching. Searching means searching whether the given element is present in the data structure or not. It is an operation. Second one is searching. Searching means you will search whether given element is present in the data structure or not. Next, inserting. Inserting, it is an operation. Inserting means inserting the data or elements into data structure is called inserting. Next operation that you can perform on data structures is deleting. Deleting means removing the element from the data structure. It is called deleting. Next operation that you can perform on data structure is sorting. Sorting means arranging the elements in ascending or descending order in data structure is called sorting. Next, merging. Okay, combining the elements in the data structure. It is called merging. Once again, see the basic operations that can be performed on data structure. First one is traversing, accessing each and every element from the data structure. Searching, whether the given element is present or not. You need to search whether a given element is present in the data structure or not. Next, inserting. Inserting means inserting the element into the data structure. Deleting, removing the element from the data structure. Sorting, arranging the elements in the data structure in ascending or descending order. It is called sorting. Matching, combining the elements. Okay, these are the operations that can be performed on data structure. Now, let us see abstract data type. Before discussing about abstract data type, please memorize the basic data types you have studied in your previous semester in C language. You know the basic data types are int, char, double, float. All these are basic data types, right? Already you have studied in your previous semester in C language. What they represent? The type of data you are using. Okay, the type of data and the operations that you can perform on the data. For example, just wait. See here, you have studied basic data types. Basic data types like int, float, double, char. These are the basic data types. What they represent? The type of data you are using. Example, see here. Int space a. What is this int space a? To declare a variable. How will you declare a variable? See, this is a variable, right? A is a variable. How will you declare a variable? Data type. This is a data type. Data type space variable name. What this statement is telling? See, this statement tells to the compiler that a is a variable of type integer. A is a variable of type. A is a variable of type integer. Integer is a data type. What it specifies? The type of data this variable is using. This variable is using, example, integer means all whole numbers are integers. Example 10, for example. See, for example, this A contains 10. So what this is saying? This is telling to the compiler that A is a variable of type int. That means A contains value of type integer. Here 10 is an integer. All whole numbers are integers. Okay. And it is also saying that the type of operations that can be performed on these integers. On this integer 10, which type of operations you can perform? Addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. All these operations you can perform. So, okay. I hope you understood data type means which type of data and what type of operations that can be performed. Okay. These are predefined data types. Int, float, double, char. Already you have studied in your previous semester. In first year, you have studied about this in C language. I hope you understood it. I'm not going into deep of it. Now there are user-defined data types. These are all basic data types already predefined. Okay. There are another data types called user-defined data types. User-defined data types. What are the examples of user-defined data types? Structures, One second. User defined data types: structure, union, enumeration. We have already studied. These are user defined data types. In the same way, abstract data type is a user defined data type. Okay, it is not a predefined like int, char, float, double. Okay, it is not a predefined data type. It is a user defined data type. User must define it. Okay, abstract data type, it is a user defined data type which defines data and operations bundled under a name. Okay, data, again I am repeating, abstract data type means it is a user defined data type where it contains a data and operations bundled under a name. For example, uh, take this stack. If you are saying stack ADT means abstract data type. If you are saying stack ADT means, it means all the data and operations of stack are called stack ADT. Okay, again I am repeating, stack ADT means all the data of stack and all the operations of stack together called stack ADT. Together can be viewed as stack ADT. ADT is nothing but data and operations. Okay, remember that. Data plus operations bundled under a name. Example, stack ADT. Stack ADT means data of the stack and operations that can be performed on stack. Okay. Another example, QADT. Okay, you are saying QADT. QADT means data of Q and operations that can be performed on Q. Together called QADT. Okay. Linked list ADT. Linked list ADT means data of linked list and operations that can be performed on linked list. Together can be viewed as linked list ADT. ADT is nothing but data plus operations under a name. Here name is linked list. Linked list ADT means data of linked list and operations of linked list. Array ADT means data of array and operations of array can be viewed as ADT. Okay, I hope you understood it. Now everyone have to respond. I'm activating the live polls. Wait a second once, please wait. See here. Open the Google Chrome, type pollev.com/Lavanya Susan 569. Which of the following is related to ADT? Just now I have explained. I am giving 1 minute of time. Everyone have to answer. Just click the answer only once. Just click it. Please respond quickly. I will see the responses also. Which of the following is related to ADT? Answer quickly. Okay, stop responding. Show responses. 7% have answered only data. Why you have answered only data? Already I have explained it. ADT means data plus operations under a name. Very good. 95% of students have answered data and operations under a name. Very good. I hope you understood my class. See, again I am saying ADT means not only data. Only data is not an ADT. Only operations is not an ADT. Okay. ADT means abstract data type. Means a data plus operations under a name. Example, if you are saying stack ADT. Now you have given 100%. Okay. I said stop responding. Okay. You should click only once. Okay, very good. 100%. Data and operations under name. Stack ADT. Stack ADT means data of a stack and operations of a stack can be viewed as stack ADT. Queue ADT means data of queue and operations of the queue. Okay. Can be viewed as queue ADT. I hope you understood. Okay. Next. See here, see the diagram. Listen carefully. See, from next class onwards, you need to maintain a running notes. Okay. There are searching and sorting problems. You need to solve it parallelly. Okay. While I'm saying parallelly, you need to solve. So for data structures, please maintain a running notes. From tomorrow onwards, you need to maintain a running notes. Okay, see here. Abstract data type means, already I have said, data and operations. Here, where data will be stored? Data will be stored in computer's memory only. That's why I have represented here memory, in box memory. So, in memory, where it will be stored? In memory, data will be stored in memory only. But data must be stored in some particular format, right? So for that particular format to store, what you are using? You are using data structures like array, stacks, queues, linked list, trees, and graphs. Okay. According to the application, which is suitable data structure, you will use that. Okay. Arrays, you will use either arrays or stacks or queues or linked list or graphs or trees according to the application you are developing. Okay. So, ADT means data, where data is stored in memory. In memory, in which format it is stored? In some particular format in data structures like array, linked list, so on. Okay. Next, as I said, ADT means data and operations. Operations are nothing but functions. Already you have studied in your previous semester in C language functions. I hope you know it. Please memorize functions. Okay, functions. Here functions are called as operations. Already I have explained traversing, insert, delete, merging, sorting. All are operations. Okay. Now, these operations and data together called ADT. Now, your application program, nothing but the program written by the user. How this program written by the user is accessing these data structures, accessing the data. See, your program cannot directly access the data which is stored in memory in data structure. Again, I am repeating, your program, application program is the program written by the user. You cannot directly access the data which is present inside data structure in memory. You cannot directly access. Then who can access it? See here. Public functions can access the data. Private functions can access the data. Okay. Public functions can access the data and private function can access the data. And now this application program will access these public functions. Okay, only public functions, private functions program cannot access. Private functions can be accessed by only public functions. Okay, see here directions, see the directions. Public function can access the data and public function can access the private function. Okay, see the what is this direction. Okay, and private function also can access the data, but your program cannot access private functions and data directly. Okay, program cannot access directly. Then how it can access? Using some interface only it can access these data structures and functions using public functions only. Remember that program cannot directly access the data structures present inside the data present inside the memory. It can access only through public functions only. In turn, this public function can access private function, but your program cannot access the private function. See the direction, you can understand. Your program can access these public functions only using this interface only. For example, in C language, you are writing ash include stdio.h, right? It is considered as an interface. Okay, through that you can access the functions like printf, scanf. That is treated as an interface header file. Just an example. Okay, remember this. Remember this diagram. Once again, see the diagram. Only through the interface only you can access the data and functions. ADT means data and functions under a name. So next class I will discuss algorithm, the topic algorithm. From next class onwards you need to take the running notes. I hope you understood the class. This is the end of the class. Thank you. Please listen carefully. Okay, this is the end of the session. Thank you so much. Please don't leave. I'm taking the attendance. Please don't leave. Students, please don't leave. I'm taking the attendance. Please wait. Please wait. Okay, wait 1 second. 43 members. Okay, can leave the session. 43. Okay, students, you can leave the session.